And telling us about the agency you work for?
My name is Jarrett Gist, and I work at the East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind in Tyler, Texas, and I am a COMS, so Certified Orientation Mobility Specialist. And at the East Texas Lighthouse for the Blind, we are a nonprofit agency, and we provide contracts with the federal government. So that is our main business for generating revenue. And so we sustain somewhere around 70% of our employees is blind or legally blind to maintain those contracts. And as a result, back in 2009, we started the rehabilitation program. So we serve those individuals with regards to orientation and mobility technology. So we have Microsoft certified technology instructors, and then we also have a low vision store. And we do independent living as well. And so the types of contracts that we provide with regards to the employees working in the plant side of the thing is basically they do a lot of paracord for the Army, a lot of paper products, different plies of paper towels and those sorts of things. And so yeah, anyway.
That's great. Can you tell us a little bit about your consumers? What are their needs? What areas of concerns do they typically come to you with?
Yeah, so we deal with, so as an orientation mobility instructor at the Lighthouse in Tyler, we basically, we have the independent school districts that we contract with. When we first started, it was just working with DARs, contracting with DARs, and then also working with people that weren't affiliated with DARs, adults that would come in. And then we opened up the doors to contracting with school districts in the area. And so as a result, we kind of just do a little bit of everything. So like for me on my schedule, like I'll dedicated Mondays and Tuesdays to working in the school districts, and then Wednesdays and Thursdays are working with DARs or with walk-ins or even the employees who may need some additional training around the work environment or maybe outside in their community. And then on Fridays, I generally put that day aside for paperwork and that sort of thing.
So you work with all age ranges?
Work with all age ranges. The youngest that I've worked with since I've started working in the schools has been a 2-year-old. I've had a couple of 2-year-olds, and all the way up through adulthood, and then, I've worked with people that are even in their 90s. And so the Lighthouse has been great because I get a big spectrum. I get to kind of work with a little bit of everything, which is nice.
Great. Could you tell us if you have a new O&M specialist who is looking to be employed by the Lighthouse, what kinds of skills or strengths would make them an excellent candidate?
Yeah, I mean, just like I think with any job that you're looking for, I mean, you need to be reliable. You need to be trustworthy. You need to be able to manage documents and stay organized and be able to communicate with the people that you work with. Just things is even from maintaining appropriate dress code for maintaining a professional job, and just really all of those types of things. Yeah.
If a student wanted to work at the Lighthouse, would you recommend an area that the applicant might seek additional training in that might be specific to your consumers?
Additional training. There's always something that you can benefit from. I mean, we do CPR training, we do safety training, we learn about different types of what do you do in the event that someone, maybe having heart problems, or if you're dealing with people who are diabetic. Diabetes training is something that, a lot of the adult clients that we work with have. So, knowing about, managing their diabetes and just, the insulin, maintaining sugar levels, learning about all those sorts of things. Any kind of diabetic course would be great. And, I'm sure there's a whole bunch more, but diabetes seems to be the one that really strikes me just because I work with so many people who have diabetes.
Great, thank you. Does the Lighthouse support professional development?
Yeah, definitely. The Lighthouse is, I'm legally blind, and so one of the things that's a struggle for me is that when I started looking for the job, I didn't have a restricted driver's license, and so I now have a bioptic, and I use that with restrictions. But the Lighthouse is very accommodating, extremely accommodating. I don't know if other lighthouses are anywhere near as accommodating as the Lighthouse is in Tyler, but I can speak highly of the one that I work at. They're great with going above and beyond. I've got a driver that helps me get to the job site. So that was one of the struggles that I had as a student. I was thinking, well, I've got to be very specific and strategic about the area that I'm going to work in because I'm not going to be able to be itinerant. But it's funny how things kind of evolve and transition over time to the point where you can, it just worked out. So, lighthouses, if they can provide you with a driver to accommodate you with getting to your appointments, maintaining those contracts with districts or with DARs or what have you. So, be encouraged that there's options.
Thank you so much. The last question I have is there anything else that I didn't ask you about that you'd like to share about working at the Lighthouse and your experience?
Yeah, the Lighthouse has a low vision store, and so we have a lot of adaptive equipment there. We also we're currently working on an employment program. It's kind of in the making, where we have people that may or may not be affiliated with DARs that are looking for a job, and so we try to help them with placement as well. And but the low vision store is great. We have a lot of different devices, both for people with low vision and for people who are near or totally blind. And so we try to stay on top of the different types of technology that's out there. And so, I'd encourage students to, if they could, make their way out there and at least check it out. But that's all I've got.
Thank you so much, Jarrett.
All right.